If you're an eldest daughter like me, your biggest dating problem may not be that you choose the wrong men. It could be that you learn to overfunction in relationships. Eldest daughters, specifically ones that are parentified, learn how to anticipate needs, how to manage emotions, how to take responsibility for things that weren't theirs. And if you don't unlearn that, you'll take this survival skill into your relationship and think that you're being a good partner. So today I want to share 12 tips that every eldest daughter needs before she falls in love. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia. I am a licensed therapist and coach. So let me hop right in. Number one, stop auditioning for the role of good woman. You don't have to prove how nurturing you are. You don't have to prove that you are wife material. A lot of women that I work with fall in the trap of having to prove or thinking that they have to prove that they are a good woman, okay? Or that you're low maintenance. You're doing this in order to prove that you are worthy to love. You've learned in your childhood to be low maintenance. You've learned in your childhood not to have needs because your needs were invalidated. But when you are desiring a healthy relationship, you have to understand that you don't have to prove your worth. That love is something that should be available to you, okay? I did a video why every woman should date selfishly. I'm going to put it here. So after you watch that video, you're going to want to watch that video next. Number two, don't confuse being needed with being loved. Now, this is a big one. When you are a parentified daughter, you are taught to give emotional labor and also physical labor. So when you show up in a relationship, you automatically showing up thinking that you should give. You grew up taking care of everyone, and then you get in a relationship with a man, right? It may feel like he constantly needs you, and you are conflating those two as being loved. But I want you to know, just like in your family, they took from you, that wasn't love. They were taking from you. They were taking advantage of you. And this man may be taking advantage of your emotional and physical labor. I find it very strange that there are some men that demand emotional and physical labor from you, even before there is a commitment to be exclusive, even before you say, I do. Even before the first date, they want some type of labor from you, and you have to watch out for that, especially when you were taught to overfunction and you were taught that your worth in relationships is what you give versus who you are. Number three, observe before you overgive. Don't immediately become his therapist, planner, cheerleader, cook, his emotional support system. That man had a life before you came in it. And what I see happening is this is something that is normal to you, but you feel like it's natural. It's not natural. It was developed in you. I always say that if you have to use the same skills in your childhood to survive in your romantic relationship, then it's not a healthy relationship for you. How was he getting his emotional needs met before you came in his relationship? Don't let that man trauma dump on you. Don't let him tell you about his exes or his ex-wife or the problems that he's having early on in the relationship, because that's going to trigger the fixer in you. And you should be in a relationship where you're able to be seen, heard, and loved. Now, if you want to help him, you need to have boundaries around that, okay? A lot of eldest daughters or parentified daughters or women in general just feel like they are supposed to give without requiring reciprocity. And relationships require reciprocity, okay? This is number four, let him experience the consequences of his own choices. Eldest daughters often overfunction. I saw Boosie talking about how he got engaged because he was getting federal charges. And so he talked about how he got engaged because then his fiance wouldn't be able to testify against him. However you feel about that, it was his way of attempting to protect her from whatever trouble he had gotten in. When a man has consequences, something happens in his life, as the eldest daughter, it's very important for you to observe how he handles problems so that you can identify if he is a problem solver. Dating is about collecting data. If you are jumping in to help him, you will not be able to see if he is resilient. A lot of times I see women with men, and you may have married one or divorced to him now, or he is an ex. He was emotionally unavailable. He didn't have problem solving skills, and this was a man who was telling you that he wanted to lead the relationship. You can't experience emotional safety with a man who doesn't have problem solving skills, a man who doesn't have skills in order to manage a crisis. I know you have them because you were the eldest daughter, but sit back and see how he deals with the consequences of his behavior. I did a video in the membership, and it's titled, "If He Doesn't Know How to Love, Don't Teach Him." And it's a man saying, you know, I think he's like 72 years old, talking about something he learned about love last year. But meanwhile, he had children, he had a wife, and there were consequences that came with him not being able to learn how to love. And this is the thing, it's not just learning how to love, it's about providing care, and that is a skill. But guess what? He didn't have any consequences for being a dysfunctional partner because the wife covered for him. And what I don't want for you is to have to be in another relationship where you have to cover for another adult. So whatever consequences happen in his life, respect the consequence so that you can observe and collect data to see if he truly has leadership skills and if he has crisis intervention skills or problem solving skills. Don't you jump in, okay? Number 5, don't mother your partner. You are looking for a partner, not for another person to manage. A man who has a mother wound is looking for the eldest daughter. He's looking for a woman that will nurture him, who will coddle him. He is not looking to be an equal partner. And so if you have ever had to overfunction in a relationship, if you had to give more than you received in a relationship, it may have been that you showed up mothering him. One of the Heal Squad members said that a lot of men that she's dated are looking for this maternal instinct. And I told her that is a red flag for you, because that is a man who wasn't nurtured by his mother, and he's looking for you to nurture him. But this is the thing, as a woman, you don't want to mother your man. That is so unattractive, okay? You want to be able to partner with him. Number 6, pay attention to how you feel when you're not performing. Are you able to rest and receive in the relationship? Or do you feel like you always have to be on go? Do you feel like you always have to be giving? Okay. So am I able to rest with him? Do I feel safe? Are we building a relationship where I'm able to feel vulnerable, where I don't feel like I have to perform in this relationship? Number 7, don't mistake your high tolerance for emotional strength. That tolerance was built so that you can survive your childhood. It should not be available in your romantic relationship. No, ma'am. No. But Samantha, I got to hold him down. I got to be there for my man. I got to fight for this relationship. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And let me tell you also this about tolerance. If you have experienced abuse in your childhood, you need to be no, let me not say it this way. The first red flag you see where he is disrespectful, he raises his voice at you, you need to be no nonsense. If he tries to intentionally intimidate you, he's gaslighting you, he's lying to you, he's attempting to manipulate you, he's playing the dread game with you. You see he's pulling out some red pill tactics, you see some narcissistic traits, even though it may not be narcissistic, he may just be toxic. Get out of there, because you had from 0 to 18, you had all of that time to be in an unhealthy relationship with your family. Do not sign yourself up to be in an unhealthy relationship with a man. And let me say this I always have to talk about religion because it's a system that impacts many of us. Many of us have fallen in the trap of being in an unhealthy relationship with a man, or you may have even married him, and then the church is like, you can't divorce him. There are so many people who want to say, God hates divorce, God hates divorce. And I believe with my heart that God loves you more than he hates divorce. So it's so important as the eldest daughter that you are 0 tolerance for any type of neglect, mistreatment, lack of care in your romantic relationship. He has to show up as a healthy partner. So you may have a high tolerance, but it's not available to him. You can go through things in the relationship, but you shouldn't go through things because of him, because he's negligent, because he works when he wants to work. And so he gets mad at the job and he quits. So now you have to pick up the financial strain of the relationship. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Okay. Number 8, date men who carry their own emotional weight. Do not date a man who's trying to trauma bond with you. He comes to you and he's telling you every issue that he has in his life. There are some men that come to you and they feel like you should fix their life. No, ma'am. We are not rehabilitation centers for broken men. He needs to be able to carry his own emotional weight. He needs to demonstrate emotional intelligence. If not, you are going to be carrying the weight of 2 people in the relationship, and that is so heavy. He needs to be able to communicate, regulate himself, respect boundaries, and participate in a relationship, and it's not your job to teach him. This is a trap that many women fall for, that they feel like they have to teach a man how to be in a relationship. He should have relationship skills before you date him. If he has friends and he has family and you can observe him having a good relationship with them, then he should have a good relationship with you. Don't you ever believe a man who tells you that he doesn't know how to be in a relationship. Well, let me say this. Believe him and leave him. 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 That's what you should do. Okay? Don't believe him and then you're trying to teach him. No, shawty. So you're telling, this man has a history of dating multiple women or being married, and he tells you, I don't know how to be in a relationship. That's why the other women left him. So you're telling me he's been in multiple relationships and those women left him, and he ain't think to pick up a book, listen to a podcast, get a mentor or a coach or a therapist? Don't you take on that responsibility? Don't you do it. I know we've all tried. I've tried too. But this is the thing. I feel like you teach a man how to love you because there's specifics, but you don't teach him how to love. He need to go find his relationship skills somewhere else. Okay. And there's many coaches, there's men coaches, there's therapists that could teach, there's books that could teach him how to show up as a partner in a relationship. But don't you do it. Okay. You have spent your life wanting people to love you, care for you, wanting people to see you. Do not pick up another project. Don't pick up another project. Okay. Number 9, stop making potential your responsibility. You are not dating the man he could become. You're dating the man he is demonstrating himself to be. Respect it. We respect behavior over what he says. Your potential that you are seeing, that's what you're seeing. That may not be who he's agreeing to be. I think her name is your corporate BFF. She talked about how a good girlfriend can really be a terrible partner because you are pushing him to do things he doesn't want to do. Yeah, he told you that he wanted to start a business. He wanted to be an entrepreneur. But if you don't see him taking steps, he's not self-motivated, he's not ambitious, stay in your lane, because you're going to cause him to be frustrated and you're going to be frustrated. Okay? So we're not dating for potential. Number 10, learn to receive without immediately reciprocating. Eldest daughters are taught that their function is to give. So, and we also quite often don't receive much. We don't receive attention. We don't receive support. We don't receive nurturance. We don't receive care. And so when somebody gives to you, it may make you feel uncomfortable. It may make you feel like you have to do something, but rest in the relationship. Okay, don't be so quick. Now, some of you may feel like, Cynthia, I don't want to owe no man nothing, because there have been times where somebody did do something for you and then they threw it in your face. So when he does something, you are quick to try to give something back so that the score is even. But in relationships, it shouldn't be transactional. Okay, so if this man says if he plans the date, let him plan it. If he helps you, receive the help. You don't have to immediately pay him back emotionally, physically, or sexually. Okay. Number 11, don't rush sex because you recognize his potential. Now, I'm saying sex here. And the reason why I'm saying sex is because I hate that he wrote this, but when Steve Harvey talked about the 90-day rule, he talked about at 90 days that this is the appropriate time to have sex. Talk about commitment and have sex. But you don't know that man in 90 days. Let's be for real. You don't know. That's the honeymoon phase. Everything is so great. Everything is so good. You are planning in your mind, this is going to be my man. We're going to get married. We're going to have children. And especially the Christian girlies, there is this concept that you prepare for these years and then suddenly God is going to bless you with your husband and things are going to move fast. But you have to be mindful about intimacy. You have to be mindful about sex, and not just sex, emotional intimacy as well. You have to ensure that you can trust this man, that you truly know him. 90 days is not enough time truly to get to know someone. For some of you, intimacy, sex, or just emotional intimacy may come around 6 months. And it's so important that you don't rush it. Take your time to get to know him. Roll out trust, roll out vulnerability. Look at the pace in which he's trying to move the relationship. Is he trying to move the relationship at a pace that doesn't feel good to you? Do you prefer a slow burn relationship so you have time to really get to know him? Okay. Number 12, choose peace over familiar chaos. If you spent your childhood managing dysfunction, healthy dating may feel initially unfamiliar, right? And this is the thing. You are used to the chaos. You're used to the dysfunction. You're used to managing the emotions of your siblings, managing the emotions and anticipating the emotions of your parents. You know, if you grew up in a home with an alcoholic father, forgive me, if he came home from drinking and he was an angry alcoholic, you learned how to get out of the way. You learned that you don't be around him because then he may become physically abusive. And so you are used to the chaos. Your nervous system is used to the chaos. You're used to the hot, cold in the relationships. You're used to the fighting in the relationships, the arguing in the relationships. Don't create it, but also don't choose chaos over peace. The reason why we may have had dysfunctional and toxic relationships before is because we were tolerant of the chaos. And that's why it's so important that the tolerance that was built in your childhood, it's not available in your romantic relationship. You deserve a relationship in which there is peace, where you are understood, where your needs are not invalidated, where your wants are invalidated, where you're able to speak up for yourself, where your boundaries are respected. I want to hear from you below. Which one of these are you working towards in your next relationship? And I would love to hear, maybe there are some things that you would add to this list. My name is Samidia. This is Heal the New Sexy. Until we talk again,